Clients often ask, how much is a herniated disc worth after a car accident case? Well, it really depends on the type of injury that you sustain and the type of medical treatment that you end up getting and the way that the case progresses. In New York, a herniated disc can be worth just $5,000 or $10,000 if, for example, you as a client sustain a herniation after a car accident and you go to a physical therapy office and you happen to have an MRI and the MRI just says that you have a herniated disc, but you don't do anything else. Like you don't see a specialist, you don't end up having surgery, you don't end up having any kind of pain management procedures, and you just leave it at that. You go like once or twice a week to have chiropractic adjustments, to have massages, and if you leave it at that, after 3 months of treatment, the medical records can be sent to the insurance company and the case can be settled probably in the range of $5,000 to $10,000, maybe 15 or 20, depending on the insurance company, depending on the venue for the lawsuit and factors like that. Now, if you take it the next step, if you have a herniation and it's very painful and you need to see further treatment with specialists and more medical care, and you end up doing something known as pain management. There are usually two types of pain management. First, sometimes people do what are called as pain relief injections or epidural steroid injections. And that procedure would probably make the case worth more in the range of anywhere from $30,000 up to $50,000. We even had one case go for over $100,000 just with those pain relief injections. But the problem that we saw with the pain relief injections is that they're temporary, right? They're like taking a Tylenol for a headache. So you do a pain relief injection and your pain goes down for maybe a month or two, but then when the medicine wears off, the pain comes back. And now, because you have that herniated disc with the disc having exploded and the liquid inside the disc leaking and touching the nerve roots, that's causing a lot of pain. And so because of that, you need to seek out more medical care. And so the next step after the epidural steroid injection is usually seeing a pain management doctor as well, and they do what's known as a microdiscectomy or a percutaneous discectomy. And there they go in with like Stryker decompressor, and it decompresses the disc and it actually removes some of the disc material. It removes the leak from the disc. The part that's leaking out of the disc, touching the nerve roots, which is causing the pain, gets removed through the decompressor machine. It's usually a minimally invasive procedure, although it is a surgery, and it's done in the office or in a surgery center. With that procedure, a case is now worth even more. Like we've settled cases with a percutaneous discectomy for $175,000. We've settled them for $225,000. We've even had verdicts in Brooklyn for $350,000, and recently we had a verdict in Manhattan for $547,000 for a percutaneous discectomy case. So they run the gamut, but you can get much more. Now the next step, if the percutaneous doesn't help you because the injury is so severe, would be having a full-blown spinal surgery with an orthopedic spinal surgeon or a board-certified spinal surgeon who specializes in neurology. And that kind of surgery, known as a spinal fusion or a laminectomy or a discectomy, a full-blown one, that would probably command even more compensation. That would probably be in the range of $750,000, $1 million, even up to $2 or $3 million. We had one case with a construction accident worker who had a spinal fusion where it was settled for $2,800,000. We had another case with a truck driver up in the Bronx in a trucking accident that was settled for $2.5 million. And the reason those command more money is because now you have a serious spinal fusion, but also the doctor will write a report saying that the client will have future medical expenses. For example, the cost of physical therapy, the cost of further surgeries. One major spinal fusion surgery could run from $50,000 to $75,000 or even more just as the cost of the surgery. Furthermore, a lot of these clients will have lost wages. Now an economist will come in and give an expert prediction as to future lost wages. And so you have economic damages. You also have the pain and suffering, which is greater because these people have had a significant and permanent back injury. So those cases are worth much more. But in determining how much you can get for a herniated disc, usually you have to look at, obviously, the liability, how the accident happened, the damages, which we talked about now, either soft tissue with physical therapy, pain management, or surgical intervention with spinal fusion, and the venue where the case is pending, and how the case is worked up, if the case is worked up properly, if the case is litigated aggressively and efficiently, which we always strive to do for our clients. And those are the factors that usually determine how much a herniated disc is worth in New York City.